rightward shift in the demand curve, increase in demand. So see, this is the original point of equilibrium and this is the new point of equilibrium where the new demand curve is intersecting with the new supply curve. So from here you mark your equilibrium price. This is your equilibrium quantity. So we can simply see that the equilibrium price rises if the quantity demanded or demand rises, and that logic we did when we were discussing the example of the book, that if the demand is more, the price will tend to rise. Similarly for decrease in demand, again the basic diagram remains the same. First the demand curve and then the supply curve. Again same price and supply and demand on the y-axis. Now we simply have to decrease the demand, that is we have to make a leftward shift in the demand curve. So suppose this is the new demand curve. So this is your new equilibrium price and new equilibrium quantity. So in this case, because now supply becomes more than the demand, that's why the price tends to fall. And you also have to remember that without even drawing a diagram, you can come to know that if demand is becoming more than supply, then the demand price will rise, and if demand is less than the supply, then price will fall. See, and in some of the books you may observe that these are demand curve and supply curve are drawn as straight lines, so no problem, you can use straight lines as well. Then the category B. Under category B, demand remains unchanged and supply changes. So again two possibilities. Either the supply can increase or it can decrease. Now again for making the diagram, first we draw the basic diagram. Always mark your OP, OQ and original equilibrium, because if you do without marking them, you first draw the curve, then you might not get the correct points where you have to join the lines. So it is very important that first you complete the basic diagram or the market equilibrium diagram. Then see, I have to do what? I have to just increase the supply. So it means rightward shift in the supply curve. So this is the new supply curve. S1 we can name it as, and we see that the equilibrium price tends to fall while equilibrium quantity tends to rise, and this is E1 is the new point of equilibrium. Now for the decrease in supply, see, you are constantly observing me that for making any diagram I simply first draw the basic model. You also have to follow the same step. Okay, steps remain the same. First you complete this diagram, right, and then see supply decrease. So it means leftward shift in the supply curve. So you can see that here the equilibrium price rises and equilibrium quantity falls. This is the original point of equilibrium, this is the new point of equilibrium. Simply you can simply draw and see that what effect the changes in demand and supply are having on the equilibrium price and quantity in these two categories. The questions will be based on the formation of the diagram and then explanation of the diagram. We'll talk about that, the chain of effects, later on, that is asked along with the question. No one will ask you to explain this, what you have done, all this. Okay, question will be from the chain of effects that we'll talk about later. Before that, we'll move on to the third category, that is category C. Under the category C, we say that both demand and supply change together. or change simultaneously. Now again, this category C is little complicated, or you cannot call it as complicated, but little lengthy. We have to understand how we proceed in this category. It has subcategories. The first subcategory is when the price rises. Second is when the price falls. Third is when price remains unchanged or price remains constant. And fourth is when quantity remains unchanged. Or we can say quantity remains constant. See, now before moving on to the diagrammatic presentation of in this category, we first have to understand what they mean. Price rises. Remember that logic. Price will rise only when demand is more than the supply, right? Price falls when demand is less than the supply. Price is constant, that we will talk about how it happens, and quantity unchanged, that also we will discuss later on. First, see, price rises, it means that the demand should be more than supply, first thing, right? So under this we have two possibilities. First possibility is when increase in demand is more than the increase in supply, right? And second possibility is when decrease in demand is less than the decrease in supply. See, first we have to understand that what this means. Increase in, see, both are increasing. Demand is also increasing and supply is also increasing. But look at the sign that increase in demand is more than the increase in supply. For understanding, you can simply say that suppose the equilibrium quantity was 100. It means at the point of equilibrium demand was also 100 and supply was also 100. Now suppose demand rises by 50 units. Change in demand is 50 units while supply rises by say 20 units. Why I am saying this? Because increase in demand is more than the increase in supply. So now new demand is 100 plus 50, that is 150 units, while new supply is 100 plus 20, that is 120 units. So after this change takes place in the market, demand will be more than supply and the price will tend to rise. Similarly, for decrease in demand, this quantity would be more. Suppose this is 50 and say this is 100. So now the decrease in supply would be, you cannot take as 100, otherwise it will come to 0. Say is 60. Then what will happen? Supply will be 100 minus 60, that will be 40, and demand will be 100 minus 50, that will be 50. So again demand is more than the supply. So again it will lead to rise in price. Now diagrammatically we will study these two situations and you have to understand it in one go. If you have not understood, you can go through it again, how it happens, because this logic is very important. After that only you can decide that what diagram to make. Because it can also be asked in a form that explain any one situation where there is a simultaneous increase, change in demand and supply and price tends to rise. So any one of them, or they may ask you both the conditions. So this logic is very important. Now diagrammatically we will do diagrammatic representation, again remain the same. The similar sort of procedure you have to follow. For this category, the first possibility was increase in demand is more than increase in supply. So again, first we draw our basic diagram. This being the equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity. Now see, we have to increase both, but demand by a larger proportion. Suppose this much I have increased the demand, supply by a smaller proportion. Again, we have to be careful that we should go on marking all these things beforehand. Now see, this was the initial equilibrium or original equilibrium. New equilibrium will be at point where D1 and S1 are intersecting. So don't get confused. This will be your E1 and not this one. You have to see where D1 and S1 are intersecting. So we see that the price tends to rise and quantity also tends to rise, right? This is how we frame the diagram. For the second condition, that is the decrease in demand more than the decrease in supply, or less than the decrease in supply. Again, first we draw the core diagram of the market equilibrium. This is the demand, this is the supply. See, demand decreases. Again, this is my E, and supply decreases by a larger proportion. This is S1 and S1. So now this is my new equilibrium. Again, price tends to rise while overall quantity tends to fall. So you must have again observed that it is simple logic what I am using for drawing the diagram. You need not mug the diagram. You need not mug it up. Simple logic you apply. Follow the steps carefully. First make the basic diagram and do whatever is required, right? And you will get your correct answer. So if you have understood